Okay, so then in the back was Officer Bar Brady with Chris Jericho to do a promo on the Mimosa Mayhem match. And did you notice, again, Jericho desperately trying to cut a heel promo, but at the same time trying to phrase it like Pockets is a top guy, is a big star, is a guy he ought to be involved with. And somebody even on Twitter said, well, you idiot. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with wrestling. You idiot, that's what the heel is supposed to do. No, not this way, where you're obviously reaching to say, but he is a top guy, and he's proven himself, and he's talking better about Pockets than he would if he was Pockets' manager. He's on Pockets' side. That's how he's boosted it. It's not the backhanded heel compliments. It's the, I'm desperate to make you think I made the right choice in involving myself with this goof, idiot, hick, fucking outlaw mud show hatchet head from the wilds of Pennsylvania.
You idiot. What do you know about wrestling, Jim Cornette?
So anyway, Jericho was out there trying to talk himself into that. And then he's going to go out and have a match. And they had advertised Jericho against Jelly Nutella. But they substituted. And I don't know why. I couldn't figure out why at this point, when Jericho is having this big match on pay-per-view, the Mimosa Mayhem match, where to win, you have to throw your opponent into 500 gallons of mimosa. So this is very dangerous, especially if you can't swim. But they switched it out and put Jericho in an intergender match against Pippi Longstocking.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
Well, I couldn't believe it because I thought at least, Jelly might be able to do a decent job for Jericho. That's what he's fit for, is doing jobs for people, but I guess they didn't trust him because it was so late a change, they didn't even have time to change Jelly's graphics and his chyron and everything, but they sent out a girl wrestler who I recognized as Pippi Longstocking. She's a regular on the Danish wrestling scene over there in Denmark and Norwegia. The Norwegians are famous for being from Norwegia. I did notice at least they have 550 people that can sing Judas, so they can cut the fucking audio off and get that going again.
Well, let me stop you there.
Okay.
Because at various points throughout this show,
it didn't really look like 550, did it?
Well, I was going to say at various points there was no crowd noise whatsoever. All of a sudden, for the Jericho song,
people zoned out.
AEW fans like AEW wrestling.
Okay.
All of a sudden, for the Jericho song, it sounded like there was a stadium full of people singing.
You think they sweetened it?
I'm thinking they're sweetening Jericho's song, yes.
Actually, that actually would be there. I think they're souring it. So as this match is about to get started, Pockets comes into the arena, walks into the arena from the outside somewhere, and he's got a backpack. It looked like he was bringing the school books to his master Timmy. He's carrying the backpack in his fucking teeth, and he's all frisky and everything. I think maybe Timmy was going to give him a pat on the head or whatever. So he sits there and watches this. Jericho, I thought, may have caught COVID at Sturgis because he can't punch anymore. Did you notice this? They locked up and he's doing the whiffer punches that look like shit, and it's like all the rest of the guys now that just do the fake shit because they think they're not on television. His punches, I don't. And then, honestly, I know this is cable and they're a little more lax than broadcast on the FCC requirements and everything, but I didn't know they could do topless women. Is this something that they've been doing for a while on TNT now?
Are you talking about Jelly again?
Yes, because every time that she would take a bump, her mammaries were flopping around, and I thought that on TNT, women still had to cover up their mammaries. But in this case, I wasn't thanking him for the mammaries. So it was what it was supposed to be. It was a one-sided fucking squash match, as it should have been. If Chris Jericho can't even beat a girl, how's he going to beat a pet dog? So I did feel bad for Pippi in her television debut. She was so short and pale, it looked like a better matchup to show more of her talents might have been against Darling Dagmar. And that's only for the fans who are over 50 out there, folks. But Darling Dagmar, I believe, and Pippi Longstocking here would have been a good... Look up Darling Dagmar out there. Anyway.
Diamond Lil just got jealous.
Diamond Lil would have kicked the shit out of Pippi. It wouldn't have been a good match. Darling Dagmar was a little easier. But anyway, so then Jericho beat Pippi and then busted her open. Did you notice as soon as he takes the fucking turnbuckle pad off and Pippi gets the turnbuckle or the head into the exposed turnbuckle, right? Pads off the turnbuckle. They then proceed to cut away for what seemed like a minute, but it had to be 30-something seconds, like the fucking idiot was drilling for oil. And honestly, as soon as you go back and watch this now, fans, I'll give you a little fucking tip since nobody involved in this knew how to do this, apparently, or maybe they could have imparted this knowledge to Pippi. Pippi gets nailed in the fucking head nailed in the turnbuckle and goes down and doesn't even have her blade in her hand first, immediately starts fumbling to get it untaped. You see that right before the director goes, oh, fuck, look at this fucking idiot right in front of God and everybody, and cuts to Jericho milking the people, and then cuts to Hager on the floor, and then cuts to Jericho back, and then cuts to Hager and back. So by the time we get back, any self-respecting swordsman in the wrestling industry could have fucking drilled for oil and bled out by this time, but Pippi's got a pap smear. Because Pippi probably was not only not experienced in this aspect of the wrestling industry, but probably not real fucking anxious for it, or elsewise, I don't know, maybe she forgot to take an aspirin, whatever, but good God, I've popped pimples. Better blood. Anyway, Pocket suddenly hits the ring and throws horrible punches. Were you looking at those? Horrible punches. Here comes Jake Hager. Sonny Kiss hits the ring, and Jericho actually took a bump for him. Think about this. How the fuck do I take this seriously when after the top heel beats up a job guy in a match specifically designed to get heat on the top heel, to beat the job guy up and beat him bloody so that the fucking guy, the top heel, is wrestling on pay-per-view, can come in and they can continue the angle. The job guy's partner runs in out of nowhere and knocks the top heel down. If, let's say, for example, Vader was fucking laying waste to all Taka Michinoku and Dick Togu, all the members of Kai and Tai, if what was the other fella's name? The third one in that organization?
Funaki?
Funaki. What if Sho Funaki had hit the ring and fucking drop kicked Vader and he'd have took a big bump? Would that have looked right? Fucking hell. So Sonny Kiss came in, knocked Jericho down. This was an angle for top talent. It's bad enough that Pockets is in it because, like I said, it's an angle for top talent. But if they're going to make that leap, then they have, just because the job guy that got beat and bloodied has a tag team partner, that tag team partner is going to come in and knock down the top heel in the middle of this fucking angle. Good fucking God. Any comments on your side before we move on?
Well, I'll be fair. I think this is exactly how you use Jelly Nutella. You use him like a job guy.
Was he involved?
Or Pippi Longstocking, excuse me. Pippi Shortstocking, maybe. But this is exactly how you use Pippi on the show. You know, one offensive move the way a job guy would.
Pippi has a contract and Pippi gets paid because the fucking billionaire's son was hornswoggled into signing a bunch of friends of people. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize. I'm suitably chastened.
You know, beyond that, like I said, I think it was exactly how you use him. Glad Jericho's wearing a shirt. In terms of Orange Cassidy, just how many fluids are they going to release on that mat? Who's washing that wrestling canvas? Orange juice, beer, champagne, Just one after another. Every week there's some fluid being dropped on that canvas. That's my only other thought.
All right. Next
you were right about the weak-looking punches from everyone involved. They're weak-looking forearms.
Yeah, it's like they don't even think that anybody's watching when they're on television, and that's all the people are doing is watching. But yet every single one of them will dive over the top rope head first onto concrete 12 feet below, not think anything about it. But they duck from those punches, and they can't throw them to fucking connect, save their life. It's a goddamn ass backwardist. Anyway. Next up, speaking of ass backwards, ass isn't really that bad, is it? Mild profanity, candid photography.